Wagwan Imperial Mondem. It's me, your boy, Inquisitor L'Zard Von Doom, back again to deliver some judgment on your hobby heresy and clank around a bit. So no messing around, subscribe and like and leave some heretical reports in the comments below so we can judge your hobby sins next time whenever this makes an appearance on the channel again. Let's get into it. This is from that guy W3s. My biggest sin is following my cat around for a day and a half, trying to find a shed whisker in her usual hangout spots for applying pupils. I mean, heresy. Heresy, heretic. You don't need a cat's whisker to do pupils. Get yourself a nice brush for like a tenner. Lydia, can you pass the jar full of brushes, please? These is my brushes that I use the most. And this is stuck in the jar. One sec. This is a size 0, pure Kalinsky sable. It was a tenner. It's not even branded, it just says Germany on it. If you know what this brand is, let me know in the comments because I do like them and would like to buy more. Don't know what they are. And the point on this is incredibly fine. Yes, get yourself one nice brush and you don't need a cat's whisker. I've got a cat. I'm going to say the point on this will be similar. Heresy. Burn. And also a bit gross. Don't be using your own pet stuff. This one's from Ruscaletusa. Sorry about the mispronunciation. I use the back of my hand as a dry brush palette and often forget to wash the paint off. Not heresy. This is a mark of a craftsman. I myself have been to the shop with paint on the back of my hand, realised I've been dry brushing brown dirt and it looked kind of disgusting. But not heresy. It is an unfortunate part of being a painter that you will have paint on you and things you own. I now have a specific pair of trousers that I've been told I have to wear by my partner. Thank you, Lydia. For painting, otherwise I ruin my nice trousers. Not heresy. Next, this is from Jaded Dragon. I have 6 to 7 different unpainted bits of armies, like a few Talmex here, Drukhari there, all built up and sitting on my shelf. This is not heresy. This is a pile of future fun. One day you may return to them and enjoy them once again, or they may sit there for a while and you sell them on eBay for a little bit of a loss, but you had fun building them. So that little bit of a loss is the money you spent on that session, you had fun building them. So still enjoyed that little bit of money that you spent. Not heresy, Jaded Dragon. Next. This is not a self-heretical report. This is a report on James Workshop himself, along with his other heretical things that he has done and is still doing and will do in the future, most definitely. This is quite a simple one. This one is from the Devin MT. There's no reason the washpots need to be that tall. By Emperor, just make them wide. Do not take his name in vain, number 1. Secondly, you are correct though. There is no reason for washpots to be so tall and unbalanced and wobbly. It would make a lot of sense just to make them wide and make their centre of mass lower, and it would be a lot better, and I wouldn't have spilt Nuln oil all over my mum's carpet when I was a teenager and been in trouble. Now I'm just splashing things on your mum's carpet. Hey! Next! This one is from Golden Hand 6669. I am ludicrously cheap with parts, and I'll do anything to save a pair of legs. For instance, my kill team's Despotech has legs of a leftover Royal Warden, and my custom Chronomancer has Lichguard spines for tentacle legs. And that's not getting into what I've done with my Apron-tech, I don't know these Xenos words. There is a line. What I think you are doing is not heresy. My concern is when it looks bad. I save every part on every sprue, and I've got a decade's worth that I need to... Heresy! Oh. And sorry, that must be a demon here. I save every part on every sprue, and I have done for 10 years. I've got quite a lot that I need to sort out now. That will be coming up on the channel. I'm going to devise some kind of system for sprue sorting. But it draws a line when you don't have a bit that looks good and you just use a bit because you got it. So, in my opinion, it's got to look good if you're using these spare parts. It's got to look like it fits. It might take a little bit of work, a little bit of customizing. But overall, not heresy. Just difficult to pull off. Unlike me. The court shall take a little break now because the Inquisitor needs a pee-pee. While he goes for a slash, let me tell you about this week's sponsor. You may know Dragon Trapper's Lodge from my previous videos painting this giant gorilla as a demon. Now they've sponsored this week's video, and let me tell you about their latest release. In my honest opinion, Dragon Trapper's Lodge produce some of the best STLs for miniature printing at home. They have both Patreon and My Mini Factory Tribe, both have the same monthly releases. They have two primary tiers, the Trapper tier, made for RPG gamers, and the Soldier tier, made for wargamers. They have one-page rules already for these wargame miniatures, but obviously you could proxy them for anything you feel like. You can also get both sets of models by joining the Veteran tier. This month's release for the Trapper tier is the Critter Folk of Bluewood's Barrow. All is not quiet in the woods in March. The leaves are rustling, the hares boxing mad, and the bones are rattling. The necromancer rat, Skitterax, has arisen his own undead creatures from the forest floor, and is looking to bring dominion over the land. Mounted atop his large undead bird Bonebeak, and with a huge undead serpent, he is a powerful foe. Join with the woodland protectors, drawn from a host of different woodland species, and stand firm against this new most dark threat. Otter, badger, frog, mice, more have heeded the call. This set is ideal for fans of the newly released official Humblewoods expansion of D&D. These miniatures fit perfectly into that. The set also features full D&D 5th edition adventure module, complete with stats for all of the monsters in the set, items, maps, and more. For the Soldier tier this month, we have the Chosen of Kami Part 3. The final month of the Chosen of Kami brings their full and final elemental forces to the mortal battlefields. A mighty river dragon is the fourth of the mighty dragon pantheon to lead rank and file jade warriors and elemental monks of fire, wind, water, and earth, with the highest of the ascended monks able to achieve an astral avatar state as well. As always, this entire army comes complete with one-page rule stats and rules ready to take to the battlefield on the tabletop in rank and file, fantasy, and skirmish games. The Chosen of Kami are a celestial army formed of the souls of once great warriors given new bodies by the gods and sent down from the high heavens to do battle against the dark forces arising in the world. These are genuinely good models. I really like Dragon Trapper's Lodge and I buy their stuff myself. There's going to be more apes coming on the channel very soon from them. So thank you Dragon Trapper's Lodge for sponsoring this video. Guys, go check them out. There are links down below. Ooh. It smells like Monster Energy drinks and vape juice. Was there a millennial in my chair? Next question. This one is from X-Vampire X2. I have no pile of shame. I buy models and paint them before I buy anything else. I also paint in complete silence with no music, no podcast. Number one, it's not a pile of shame. Don't be shaming people for buying things they like. It's a pile of future fun. Have you learned nothing, my child? Secondly, last time I was referring people to the Servitor program for lack of intelligence. This time I shall be referring you to the Assassins program. We need people like you, I believe, so I'll send you the application, because I think you may be useful, you absolute psychopath. Next, this is from Nixie114. Don't know if this is a sin, but I dropped my 9th edition codex and rulebook on an army, almost 1,000 points of Necrons destroyed. Grab that man and give him a medal. Goodbye, Xenos filth. Next, this is from Astral Ragtime. I know this is heresy, but I have a bad habit of buying cheap brush sets so that I don't have to worry about cleaning them as thoroughly. Heresy. Brush soap is like £5. How much have you spent on cheap brush sets adding up over the years to just not worry about cleaning them? Cleaning them is cheap. Cheaper than buying constant new cheap brushes. And also, you probably aren't getting the best paint job you can do out of cheap brushes. They're probably holding you back. So get some nice brushes and some brush soap from like Hobbycraft or just an artist shop. It's not expensive. The brushes are the bit that will be expensive. Well, a tenner each. And you could get away with just getting 2 to start with. And yeah, you will save in the long term. What you think you're saving on now, you'll actually realise that you're spending more in the first place. Although, you won't be around to take this advice because that is heresy and there will be an agent at your door shortly. Next, an interesting one. This one is someone who's brought back a case to the court from the last video on this. This person's sin was, I have never moved on from fantasy battles and keep playing 8th edition. I have never played Age of Sigma and resist it with every fibre of my being. I also look forward to the release of older blah 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 blah. I do not seek forgiveness and will accept none. I gave them a pass, told them there's no rulebook police, play whichever game you would like, old, new, it does not matter. But this person, Koliarut, maybe that's your name, maybe it's not, has pointed something out quite interesting. The individual who proclaimed his enjoyment for Warhammer Fantasy Battles 8th edition is to be commended on continuing to find joy with his preferred system. Much agreed. However, the smugness and false joy he expresses while denigrating the equally blessed Age of Sigma reveals his true colours, a villain of the basest order. The prosecution moves that this miscreant be found guilty on appeal. Ours is to appreciate each of its blessed game systems and never disparage the ones we have not given a chance ourselves. I agree with you. I will condemn this person, and we will pull them back to trial, and we will burn them. However, prosecution. You go on to say, one fears that the Lord Inquisitor may have softened in his advanced years and been unduly swayed by the defendant's logistic sleight of hand, used to conceal the confession of a darker, more heretical truth. One prays this is not so, and the Lord Inquisitor's zeal remains adequate to the task. Don't question my zeal, you little shit. So not only am I finding the defendant guilty of heresy, I am also finding the prosecution guilty of heresy for questioning the Grand Inquisitor L'Zard Von Doom. Take them both away, please, bailiff. Next. This is from ZeroJet0. My friend, when he was younger, had tyranids and would sit at his desk while gaming and watching YouTube and use their sharp claws and bits to clean his teeth like a toothpick. Heresy? Question mark. Yes. Gross. Next. This is from the Hierarchy. English is not my first language. Do not worry, my child. The Empire of Man holds many cultures within its realms, as long as you're not one of them knife-ear space elves. Are you? I need your help to figure out if this was a sin. I believe warp shenanigans were involved. One player in the table next to me managed to have his dice stand on the corner for a good 20 seconds. It stays long enough for everyone to see, but the second someone pulled out of the phone, it dropped. Zinch can be tricky to deal with, but I'd say this player at the table over is a witch and needs burning immediately. And if you do not burn them immediately, you will be burnt immediately by the person next to you. And if they do not burn it, it goes on and on. So to avoid that, go and burn them. This is the final question from Inigo Browning. Please answer truthfully, Inquisitor. Would I do anything else? How uncomfortable was the armour? How dare you question this grand design of definitely non-pinchy and incredibly silent, comfortable metal that I've got strapped to my neck. A heretic, grab him, men. So that is all the sins judged for this session of court. Please leave your sins below so I can judge you next time I pull this out of my arse. And it was nice to see you. Apart from the heretics, it was bad to see them. But if you are not a heretic, please subscribe, as we are nearing the next 1,000 milestones, which will be 12,000. Leave a little like and a comment for the algorithm. And I will see you next time. Peace.